Imagination. It's a word that often gets dismissed as mere daydreaming, a playful escape from reality. What if it is, in fact, the key to bridging the gap between the tangible world we live in and the infinite intangible universe? I will share it with you now and ponder on it. The secret code is I MAGI Nation. I am the magic nation. We are all the magicians we seek to change our reality. Unreal, right? In this video, we're diving deep into the spiritual essence of imagination, how it's not just about creating, but about connecting. Imagination is the thread that links our conscious mind to the greater collective consciousness of the universe, helping us tap into knowledge that exists far beyond what we can perceive with our five senses. When we truly understand how to use it, imagination becomes the pathway to innovation, self-realization, and an awakening of the soul. Stay with me as we uncover why imagination is the secret key to aligning with the universal flow of creativity, wisdom, and transformation. By the end, you'll not only see your own mind in a new light, but also begin to unlock the boundless potential of the universe itself. Imagination as the foundation of innovation. Imagination is often seen as a fleeting moment, a creative burst that happens when we're daydreaming, but it's so much more than that. It's the source of all innovation, and every great breakthrough, whether in science, art, or spirituality, began with a spark of imagination. Think about it. Before humanity could fly, someone imagined what it might feel like to soar above the clouds. Before we connected the entire world through the internet, someone imagined a vast web of communication, linking people and knowledge across time and space. But this isn't just about technological advancements, it's about a spiritual connection that fuels the growth of consciousness itself. Imagination is more than just thoughts or ideas. It's the language of the soul, a bridge between our physical reality and the unseen universal truths. The great spiritual teachers and thinkers throughout history have tapped into this higher plane through their imagination, receiving insights that seemed far ahead of their time. Mystics, visionaries, and innovators alike have understood that imagination allows us to access realms of knowledge that are beyond what we perceive with our five senses. Imagination connects us to the collective consciousness of the universe, the source of all possibilities. It's a way for us to perceive beyond the material, to reach into the unknown, and to bring forth something new into the physical world. In a way, it's like tuning into a cosmic frequency that allows us to receive ideas, inspiration, and innovation that can shape the world. But this is not just about creating things outside of ourselves. Imagination is deeply tied to personal growth and transformation. By imagining a new version of yourself, someone more aligned, more in tune with their higher purpose, you begin to step into that reality. The act of imagination is the first step in manifesting anything, whether it's a more fulfilling life, a new career, or a deeper understanding of the universe. I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you like this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Imagine what we could accomplish for the chosen ones in providing this much-needed experience for those in search of this light information. If everyone subscribed, it costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference. With just a click, you are the magic. Great. Thank you so much. The role of imagination in personal growth. Every spiritual journey begins with a moment of imagining something greater. Whether it's the desire for deeper fulfillment, more peace, or a higher purpose, these longings start as visions in the mind. Before we can experience change in the outer world, we must first be able to see it in our inner world. Imagination is the seed that allows personal growth to flourish. Visualization, which is a form of focused imagination, has been used by countless spiritual teachers and thought leaders as a method for manifesting change. By visualizing a future where you're living in alignment with your higher self, you set into motion the energetic forces that begin to make that vision a reality. In esoteric teachings, it is often said that the mind shapes reality. What we believe, we create. In this way, imagination is a spiritual practice. It allows us to align with the version of ourselves that exists in higher realms, bringing that version into the physical world. And it doesn't stop with just personal growth. When we grow, we contribute to the collective evolution. As we each step into our higher selves, we inspire others to do the same. Imagine a world where everyone was in tune with their true purpose, manifesting their highest potential. Imagination is the key that can unlock this collective awakening, and it all starts within. By embracing your imagination, you're tapping into the unlimited potential that exists within you. You're giving yourself permission to be more than you are, to expand beyond your current reality, and to step into a new way of being. Whether it's through meditation, visualization, or simply allowing your mind to wander, imagination is the bridge that connects you to your higher self and to the wider universe. Imagination and the higher mind. It's a direct line of communication between the physical self and the higher mind. The higher mind is that part of us that exists beyond the limits of time and space, beyond the everyday concerns of the physical world. It is the part of us connected to universal wisdom, the collective consciousness, and the infinite knowledge that surrounds us. Through imagination, we access the messages, visions, and guidance that come from our higher mind. Think of imagination as the conduit between your earthly self and your spiritual self, a channel that lets the wisdom of the higher realms flow into your everyday reality. The higher mind operates from a perspective that sees the bigger picture. While our physical mind is concerned with the details of daily life, how things will happen, when, and through what means, the higher mind doesn't deal with such restrictions. The information we receive through imagination often comes in the form of intuitive insights, visions, or feelings of inspiration. You might feel a sudden burst of excitement when thinking about a new project or idea. That's the higher mind communicating through the language of imagination, nudging you toward the path that aligns with your true purpose. By learning to trust the insights that come through your imagination, you are effectively letting your higher mind take the lead. Instead of trying to control every detail with the physical mind, you surrender to the flow of universal guidance. In doing so, you allow yourself to be carried by a force that is infinitely wiser and more connected to the larger cosmic picture. This is where true innovation happens, when you step out of the need to know how and trust that the higher mind already has the answers. The vibration of excitement and passion that comes with imaginative ideas is a signal from the higher mind. It's how the universe points you in the right direction. The more you follow this excitement, the more aligned you become with your true path. Remember, the higher mind doesn't operate under the constraints of time and space. So, the next time you find yourself daydreaming or imagining a new possibility, take a moment to ask, what is my higher mind trying to show me? What messages are coming through this imaginative spark? And how can I follow them to step into my highest potential? Overcoming barriers to imagination and innovation, while imagination holds the key to unlocking vast realms of knowledge and creativity. Many of us encounter barriers that prevent us from fully tapping into this powerful resource. These barriers can come in many forms: fear, self-doubt, or the tendency to overthink. One of the most common barriers to imagination is the fear of failure. How often have we silenced a creative idea because we were afraid it wouldn't work out, or because we were worried about what others might think? This fear is an illusion created by the physical mind. It thrives on maintaining the status quo, resisting anything that pushes us out of our comfort zone. But in order to truly innovate, whether in our personal lives, our careers, or our spiritual journeys, we must be willing to move beyond this fear and embrace the unknown. The act of imagining is, by its very nature, an exploration of the unknown. It requires us to trust that the ideas and insights we receive through our imagination are guiding us in the right direction, even if we don't yet know how it will all come together. Another barrier to imagination is self-doubt. Many of us have internalized limiting beliefs that tell us we aren't creative enough, smart enough, or capable enough to bring our imaginative ideas to life. These beliefs are often formed early in life and can stay with us for years, quietly undermining our ability to innovate. But here's the truth. Imagination is not reserved for a select few. It is a gift that each of us possesses, and it's one of the most powerful tools we have for connecting with the universe's infinite intelligence. If you find yourself doubting your ability to imagine or create something new, take a moment to remind yourself that imagination is your birthright. It is the universal mind working through you, showing you the possibilities that exist beyond what your physical senses can perceive. Trust that these visions are not random, they are invitations from the higher mind, encouraging you to step into your true potential. Overthinking is another major block to imagination. When we overanalyze or try to logically figure out every step before we begin, we effectively cut off the flow of inspiration from our higher mind. The how of things will reveal itself over time, but if we focus too much on trying to figure out every step before we allow ourselves to imagine freely, we will never be able to fully tap into the expansive nature of the imagination. One of the keys to overcoming overthinking is learning to surrender. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control every outcome and trusting that the universe will guide you. When you allow your imagination to flow without the restrictions of logical analysis, you open yourself to receive insights that are far more creative and inspired than anything your physical mind could come up with on its. To overcome these barriers, consider adopting a few simple practices: meditation and mindfulness. These practices quiet the physical mind, creating space for the higher mind to communicate through imagination. Creative play. Engage in activities that encourage your mind to wander, whether it's drawing, writing, or simply daydreaming. Playfulness removes the pressure of having to get things right and opens up the space for new ideas to emerge. Trust the process. Whenever you feel fear or doubt creeping in, remind yourself that imagination is a process of discovery. Visualization. Practice visualizing the life you want to create, allowing yourself to see it vividly in your mind's eye. Let go of the need to figure out how it will happen. Focus instead on the feeling of excitement and alignment that comes with the vision. By embracing these practices, you will learn to move beyond the barriers that block your imagination and step into a world where innovation flows freely. You'll discover that the unknown is not something to be feared, but something to be explored with curiosity and excitement. Thank you for being here and helping to spread the light, the power of play and daydreaming. Now that we've explored how to overcome the barriers to imagination, let's turn our attention to one of the most underappreciated tools for sparking innovation: play and daydreaming. As children, our minds are naturally expansive. We dream up entire worlds, imagining adventures and scenarios that stretch far beyond the limitations of the physical world. But somewhere along the way, society teaches us to rein in our imagination, to focus on what's real and practical. The truth, however, is that playfulness and daydreaming are essential for tapping into the full power of imagination. Why? Because when we play or allow our minds to wander, we release the pressure of having to create something specific. We enter a state of flow where ideas and insights can come to us effortlessly. In this space, we're not concerned with whether or not something will work or make sense. We're simply allowing our higher mind to explore possibilities without judgment. Think of daydreaming as a form of meditation, but instead of emptying the mind, you're letting it roam freely. In these moments of mental wandering, your higher mind has the opportunity to show you ideas, visions, and solutions that might not come through the rigid structures of analytical thinking. This is why so many breakthroughs, both in the personal and professional realms, happen during moments of relaxation or play. Many of the world's greatest innovators, from Albert Einstein to Steve Jobs, have credited their daydreaming and imaginative play with helping them to conceive groundbreaking ideas. Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world." If you're someone who feels like you're always in go mode, constantly working, planning, or analyzing, it's important to give yourself the space to play. Play isn't just for children. It's a sacred act of reconnection with the creative forces of the universe. Whether it's through daydreaming, creative play, or simply taking time to let your mind wander, remember that these moments are not wasted. They are essential for opening the channels of imagination and allowing the wisdom of the universe to flow through you. Practical application: using imagination to innovate in your own life. It's one thing to understand that imagination is the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe, but it's another to actually start using it in your everyday life. Let's begin with your personal life. Perhaps you've felt stuck in a situation, a job, a relationship, or a personal pattern that feels unchangeable. It can be hard to see the way out, especially when the physical mind is focused on limitations. But remember, the physical mind is only concerned with what has already happened. It cannot conceive of new possibilities the way the higher mind can. This is where your imagination comes in. Start by allowing yourself to envision a different reality. Use your imagination to see a new version of your life, one where you are living in alignment with your highest potential, one where you have already overcome the obstacles you're currently facing. Picture yourself as the future version of who you want to be, and let the details of that vision unfold naturally in your mind. Once you can see the new reality in your mind's eye, start taking small, aligned actions that bring you closer to it. Now, let's talk about collective innovation. What if we each started using our imagination to not only transform ourselves, but to reimagine the world we live in? This is where the true power of imagination lies, not just in personal change, but in collective evolution. They require us to dream up new possibilities, to imagine a future where unity, sustainability, and harmony are not just ideals but realities. So, how can you begin to use your imagination to innovate on a personal and collective scale? Here are a few simple steps. Daily visualization. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing the life you want to create. Don't worry about the how, just focus on the feeling of living in alignment with your true self. Let your imagination guide you. Journaling your imaginative ideas. Keep a journal where you write down the imaginative ideas and insights that come to you, whether they're personal or related to global issues. Often, the act of writing them down solidifies these ideas and gives them more energy to manifest. Aligned action. After you've visualized and journaled, take at least one small action that moves you closer to your vision. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be something as simple as having a conversation, researching a topic, or meditating on your next steps. Collaborative imagination. Find others who share your vision for a better world, and imagine together. Share your ideas, brainstorm, and use the power of collective imagination to amplify the energy of what you want to create. Remember, the universe responds to intentional action. By imagining a new reality and taking steps to align with it, you begin to collapse the distance between the intangible and the tangible, between the dream and the manifested reality.